I'm Pete Hines from Bethesda. We're here to talk about Elder Scrolls Legends.
Pete, why did you decide to jump into the esports arena with Elder Scrolls Legends?
We felt like Legends was a game that was a good fit for esports. I think most importantly what we care about is making a game that's not only fun to play, but fun to watch. And I think both of those things also make it a good candidate for being an esport title.
What do you feel are the key ingredients needed for a game to succeed in esports?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's got to be a good game. It's got to be a game that's fun to play and that it's fun to watch. If you don't do those two things, then esports is never going to happen. So we've tried to focus on the aspects that make it really fun and engaging to play and offer a lot of variety and make it a really competitive title.
What does PAX open up as a proving grounds for introducing new esport titles to gamers?
I think one of the things we've been able to do here at PAX is to not only have competitions and do some streaming with influencers and devs, but to also start to have tournaments here, which we're running all weekend, where fans who have had a chance to play the game in the open beta can come in and try their hand with some of the decks that they've created, and again start to embrace that idea of it's a competitive game. It's about trying to figure out how to make the best decks and how to sort of figure out the metagame and what everybody else is doing, and PAX is a great way to open up that to fans.
What role do you see influencers playing in helping grow a new esport?
I think for a title to be successful, it has to have a whole bunch of different elements working. It's not just one thing. In the case of influencers and streamers, the more people are exposed to the game and the more they understand how fun it is to play, how fun it is to watch, that only helps. And so working with the streamers that we have here, like Numatanami and Kaleko and Trump and Hafu, that only helps because they're really into it. Those guys were beating the devs, the guys who designed the game in the matches we had today. So it shows that it's not just that you can reach an audience, but that those folks are really passionate about games like the Elder Scrolls Legends.
What can you learn from what Blizzard has done with Hearthstone in esports?
Honestly, my approach to Bethesda in the time that I've been there is that we tend to focus on us and what we're doing. So, I think a game like Hearthstone is going to do whatever it thinks is best for itself. Same with a game like Magic the Gathering. We're going to take our own approach and kind of find our own way to go in terms of the kind of game that it is and the audience that we reach and how we approach esports.
Outside of PAX, do you see bigger esports potential from the for Elder Scrolls Legends?
Absolutely. What we did here at PAX was really a case of timing and where we were as a game. We have our own QuakeCon, which was one of the very first esports cons. It's not just about celebrating gaming, but it's also where we started doing Quake tournaments, well before Bethesda was involved with id. And I definitely think you're going to see tournaments and competitions in esports happening at a variety of shows like PAX, but also in a bunch of other places.
What do you hope to learn from these initial PAX esports competitions?
Like with anything, you try something and you see what works and figure out the things that resonate or work well and try and do more of those, and figure out the things that you didn't do well or could have done better and try and improve. I'm a big believer in that, whether it's going from one game to the next or one esport event to the next. So we're here to try it and try some things and see what works, and hopefully take those learnings to whatever we do next.
Are there marketing initiatives that Bethesda can use border across esports titles from Legends to Quake Champions looking ahead?
Yeah, one of the things that we believe is that the game has to come first and the esports will roll out of that. We do have a legacy in esports with titles like Quake that have been part of the esports scene for many, many years. And we want to try and take all the things that we've learned from running competitions at QuakeCon and outside of QuakeCon with Quake, not only into Quake Champions, but to apply those learnings to Legends and honestly anything else we do where we think there's a good fit or that people are interested in competing and using that game to express themselves in competition.
Do you envision any crossover fan bases across these two esports games moving forward as they're rolled out, like having Elder Scrolls people in Quake Champions and Quake Champions cards in Elder Scrolls Legends?
Sure. If you're interested in really fast first-person shooters and you're also interested in strategy card games, then obviously there's going to be some crossover. But our mantra has always been we make the kind of games that we get excited about, and we make them for whomever is interested in those games. So if you're only interested in strategy card games, well, then you're probably not interested in Quake and vice versa. But certainly exposing all of those to an audience allows you to hit folks who do have an interest and do focus on a lot of different kinds of games or different genres and might be interested in competing. Maybe they're competitive in Quake, but maybe they only play Legends casually or for fun. We want to sort of just make sure people are aware, and then if it's something that interests them, I mean, it's free to play. It doesn't cost you a thing. Give it a try.
What role does esports play today in marketing a title and keeping fans engaged?
I mean, I think like a lot of things, esports is just a component. It's not the defining component. We don't center everything around esports. It's simply one part of the puzzle, and there's a lot of things that have to go into promoting a title, marketing it, making it a success. Esports is part of that, but it's just a part. It's about reaching out to fans, finding out the kinds of things that they're interested, the kind of things that they want to do. In the case of Legends, as soon as we went, dropped the NDA, and as soon as we went into open beta, we saw that fans were creating their own tournaments and competitions, which says to us, like, yeah, esports should be a part of this, because even without us being involved, they're going out and starting their own tournaments and competitions themselves. So clearly it's something that they're interested in, and we simply want to foster that and grow it.
And then last question, talk about the enclosures you have here playing Elder Scrolls Legends. They're really unique and cool.
Yeah, my inspiration for these was, I'm old, so I remember when there used to be arcade games back in the 80s that weren't the stand-up kind, but they were the coffee table kind, and you could sit down and play, and you almost always bashed your knees into them. But I thought it was a really cool idea, and I wanted folks a way to be able to come and play Legends and do it in a way that, I don't know, felt kind of cool and retro, but it's also really comfortable and fun. Standing up at a show like PAX, you're on your feet all day. It's great that folks can come and not only enjoy the game, but get to relax and kind of do a cool setup. So.